On this exercise, we're focusing on composition.
AdoramaTV presents Exploring Photography with Mark Wallace, where you will learn innovative techniques on shooting a wide range of photography. Here's your host.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Exploring Photography right here on AdoramaTV, brought to you by Adorama. It's simply the best camera store in the world. Well, here I am in the beautiful city of Baños, Ecuador, and we had been planning on shooting some different things today and yesterday. However, it's just been rainy, and overcast for days. And so I thought this is a perfect time for a 60-minute challenge. Now, if you're not familiar with my 60-minute challenge, that's where you pick two things as your theme, and then you just go and shoot those for an hour using different photographic principles, specifically rules of composition, like rules of third, leading lines, texture, pattern, shape, form, things like that. And you try to do this just to build your skills as a photographer. So you might get great stuff, you might get stuff that you can hang on your kitchen wall. It's not necessarily going to be your best stuff, but the point is to build your skills as a photographer and learn how to see things. Well, Gavin Hoey, another host of AdoramaTV, has been doing this, but he calls it a 15-minute challenge. And I figured, hey, if Gavin can do it in 15, I can do it in 15 minutes as well. So that's what we're going to do. But before we get started, I want to remind you of some great contests that Adorama has. If you enter these contests, you can win some great prizes, so make sure you check them out. On this exercise, we're focusing on composition. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm using my Canon G16 camera. It's a really awesome camera. And I'll just look through this. I'm going to be looking for things like shape, form, rule of thirds, pattern, texture, all of that kind of stuff. And looking right behind me, I can see some of that in this table. So I'm going to start right there, and we're going to zoom in. We're going to get some of these little rocks, and off we go. All right, I sort of like the texture that we've been shooting, but I think we can do better. I just looked down here, and there's this leaf that's all wet and it's sort of fallen right here. And I think that's gonna make a much better shot. I love the background, how it contrasts. Let's just take a few of these. Well, there's a park in town here that's full of flowers, and this looks terrific, but if I shoot it like this, I'm gonna get a nasty shot. I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna apply the unusual point of view, so I'm gonna shoot this actually looking straight up to the sky, and that is gonna look great. Perfect. Hey, you know what else is in this park? Lots of cool dogs, and if you know anything about me, you know I love dogs, so I'm gonna take a few shots of my new furry friends. Why not? All right, one of the things that's all over the place are puddles, and the thing I love about puddles are the reflections that we see in the puddles, as well as all of the texture here. We can convert this to a nice high contrast black and white, and it's gonna look spectacular. So I'm just gonna get in here and shoot a few shots, and I really like that. Well, this tree right here has tons of texture, and texture always looks great in pictures. So I'm going to fill the frame with this texture right here. Maybe break this up using the rule of thirds, so this takes up a third of the photo, the white takes up 2/3, or maybe the opposite of that, and we'll see what we get just shooting this tree right here. When you're shooting stuff like this, don't be afraid to get really close. So maybe take some shots far away, but get closer, closer, closer until, in fact, you think you're too close, and then take your choice of all those different pictures and see what looks best. But overall, things like this tend to look better the closer you get. Well, our 15 minutes are almost up, but before we go, I want to talk about something called leading lines. That's where we have lines that are leading our eyes into a photo. There's this little thing right here where we've got a bunch of puddles in the top, and there's a really awesome reflection of a building that's behind us, and we have these old pipes here, maybe this tubing that's in the shot right here, and I can actually frame this up in such a way that that tubing leads our eyes into the shot. So let me do that really fast, and I think we'll be done for the day. Well, that's how I did on my 15-minute challenge. Thanks for inspiring me, Gavin Hoey. What a great guy. Listen, you can try this out. Make sure you focus on basic elements of composition. That's what we did. We got pattern, texture, rule of thirds, leading lines, and there's probably a lot more we could have gotten if we stayed out here for a little bit longer, but it looks like it's going to rain again, so we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Exploring Photography. Don't forget, you can subscribe to Adorama TV absolutely free. If you do that, you won't miss a single episode of anything on Adorama TV. And also, make sure you check out the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll learn more about elements of composition and all kinds of things about photography and shooting videos. So why not check it out right now? Well, thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.
Do you want great looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy to use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.